you're a sports fan who loves fantasy football, college football, sports betting, or just talking sports in general, then this is the podcast for you. Um, each week we're breaking down fantasy football, reacting to the biggest games, going over betting content, and just having real conversation from the perspective of a regular everyday fan. So let's get into it. So what's up, everybody? I'm Nick, and this is a sports guy to Mike. And I just wanted to take this time just to kind of introduce myself and let you guys kind of get to know what this podcast is all about. So who am I? I am a 36-year-old husband, father of two. I am an orthopedic technician. I am a sports fanatic, and I am a football commissioner. So I've been obsessed with sports my whole life. I've been kind of part of sports my whole life. Probably as long as I can remember, honestly. I was put into sports by my parents at a young age, and I've been playing from 5 years old all the way through high school. So always been around it. I just really love the competition, the strategy, the statistics, just the overall vibe of the sport of the games. So finally decided to do something where I could talk about it, and here I am starting a podcast. So what makes this podcast a little different from all the other podcasts? Well, first thing is I am not a analyst. I am not a professional former athlete. And I'm just trying to give you guys a different vibe, something like that. Inside the barbershop, you're just in the barbershop talking, talking sports, or you might be in the workplace with coworkers, or at a sports bar, meeting random people, just talking, talking sports. So trying to give you guys a little bit of a different take, something coming from a regular everyday fan. That's the kind of vibe I'm trying to bring. So that should be fun. I want this to kind of feel like you're sitting in the garage, and you just got a smooth vibe of talking sports. So what to expect from the podcast? So we'll talk a lot of fantasy football. The fantasy football that I will be talking about will mostly be coming from the league that I run, and that is a Clash of Legends is the name of the league. I am the commissioner. I got a bunch of guys that I grew up with from back at home. That's the core of the league is the guys I grew up with. We brought some guys in along the way, and we got a pretty good group. And so, I'll be bringing some rankings. We have a dynasty league, so I'll bring some dynasty content. I got draft strategy that we'll talk about on here. Some busts that might be for the year, some of the bust players that might be, some of the weekly reactions. So we'll talk a lot of fantasy on this podcast, and like I said, mostly from my league. And I think that'll be fun to kind of give you guys a deep dive look into my league. So and hopefully we'll have some of those guys on here that we can bring on, and you guys can see how we react with each other, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I also talk a little bit of sports betting on here, go over some daily picks, weekly picks, look at some of the big games that's out there, and go over the lines and my betting strategy, and we'll do that responsibly, of course. I'm not going to pretend like I never lose bets, because I do. And you guys will see my wins and my losses. So, I will keep up with that throughout the year. And that'll be kind of fun to see how I do with that. And big thing is college football. I am a huge college football fan. So I plan to bring and talk about a lot of college football on here. Get some weekly reactions to the big games, predictions of the big games, the rankings, and of course, at the end of the season, we'll do some playoff race content as well. So I'll really look forward to college football. That probably will be a big bulk of what I talk about on this podcast, is college football. And of course, we'll talk NFL, some of the weekly stories that's out there. There's actually some good storylines out there that I would love to talk about. And of course, tie that in with the fantasy football league that goes hand in hand, breaking news, predictions, and all that. So we'll talk a lot of NFL, NBA, college basketball. I talk it all. So whatever sparks my interest, we'll talk about it on here, and we'll have fun with it. And so that's a little bit about what I'll be talking about on this podcast. And again, we'll give you guys. I'll come on here weekly and try to give you guys some topics on that. So why now, you might ask? And so I've been thinking about this for a while. I used to sit in the car and listen to a lot of music on the commutes to work and wherever I'm going or whatnot. And I kind of trended onto that podcast tip, not listening to music that much and listening to podcasts. And I always thought podcasts were really cool, and I thought it was really cool how somebody could sit there and talk about something they love to do. And I was like, if I started a podcast, what would it be about? And that part was easy for me. I was like, if anybody knows me, knows I can talk sports all day. And I decided, Nick, if I was going to start a podcast, it would be on sports. So that's kind of how I got onto this, and decided to quit talking about it and do it. And so here I am. So I wanted to do something outside of work, and create a hobby that I could, kind of relax and enjoy. And this is something that I feel like I would enjoy. So I'm excited about it, and can't wait to build this up and have fun talking about it. So some episodes that's coming up next. I'll be talking about how I approached fantasy football, some sports betting strategies, NFL storylines, position rankings, some dynasty startup content. I'll be bringing you guys some of my dynasty. We have a draft coming up, so I would love to kind of give you guys a little bit of startup content on that. And of course, we got college football coming up very, very soon, and I cannot wait to break that down and give you guys some of my opinions, and we'll have a whole lot of fun with talking college football. So those are some things that's coming up that I can't wait to talk about, and we'll go from there. So if you guys made it this far, I really appreciate you guys. Again, if you guys like talking fantasy football, sports betting, college football, NFL football, or just sports coming from the perspective of a everyday fan, then, this is the podcast for you again. And you guys follow me on social media for future content as well, updates. So, I can't wait to build this community with you guys. So I am Nick, and this is the Sports Guy on the Mic, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.